All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with another live stream, bringing you the latest Chelsea transfer news. We're going to have a discussion. As always, it's going to be riveting. It's going to be great. And I can't wait to interact with you guys. Honestly, I can't wait to interact. I've put out a poll there. Which contract extension is the most important? I actually should have had another option there saying none of them. Let's redo that because there's only been. Can I add? We'll leave it as that. Maybe I should have had none as the option, but yeah, as we can see, early days, 23 votes in. Silva has been voted so far as the most important, but yeah. Think about it. Participate on that as well if you can. That'd be great. Lovely to see so many of you guys are tuning in. Smash the like button as soon as you've come through. We're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen, a release clause of 120 million euros. Good luck to anyone that wants to trigger that. But if you do want a baller, well, there you go. You have a stunning footballer right there. And if anyone wants to get in on the act quickly, you know what to do exactly straight away. We're also going to talk about Piero Hincapie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Chelsea apparently has scouted him. Ecuadorian player, had a decent World Cup as well. I haven't watched too much of him in Bundesliga for Bayer Leverkusen. To be honest, every time I've watched Bayer Leverkusen, they've not looked good, especially at their defense. They get ripped around. They get whooped around for fun. In the Champions League, they were getting battered left, right, and center, and also in some of the Bundesliga matches as well. I remember I watched them against Bayern Munich because I wanted to tune in and see what Callum Hudson-Odoi can do. Bayern Munich players really toyed around with them, so I've always been a bit, suspect about getting defenders from Germany. I know Christensen has worked out for us. Sometimes it does work out, but the defending over there, like for some reason in Bundesliga, I don't think they really care too much about defending. Like they do, but it's too open, man. Because they play very attacking brand of football. They play with a high line. They play with a lot of press, and they really leave themselves exposed a lot. So look, we'll talk about Piero Hincapie, and I want to tie that one with Thiago Silva because I feel like what is the situation with Thiago Silva? I mean, are we gonna offer him another contract extension for another year? There's some talks that's been going around that he wants to play on till he's 40, 41, like Paolo Maldini. He definitely has the physique. Does he have the desire? Does he have the motivation? Does he want to continue at Chelsea Football Club, or does he want to maybe go back to Brazil? All of these questions need to be asked. He definitely enjoys being in London. There's no doubt about that. His family enjoys being in London. But I think this new CB conversation has to do a lot with Thiago Silva. If he stays around for another season, I don't know if we're really going to go out there and buy another CB, considering you've got Chalobah, you've got Wesley Fofana, and you've also got someone like Lewa Colwell in Brighton on loan. And don't forget, Koulibaly is there as well. And then if you want to play three at the back, Marc Cucurella plays as an LCB at times. So there's a lot of options available there. So a lot to think about. And yeah, in regards to Silva, which we'll get to as well, like I feel like all this time he had the desire, the passion to continue on because he wanted to play for Brazil, I feel. Not undermining the Chelsea situation. I think he definitely has been enjoying his time at Chelsea Football Club, no doubt about that. But I think he was physically preparing himself for the World Cup, and the fact that it didn't go down well for him with Brazil. I mean, what does he aim for now? Does he aim for glory with Chelsea, even more glory, maybe a Premier League glory? Who knows? But are we even there at the moment? I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay. Nearly 80 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get those likes up to. I would love to see at least 100 likes during the live stream. As I said, we're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez and we're going to talk about Piero Hincapie, and then there are a couple other news in regards to Jorginho and Lukaku as well. We'll talk about all of that. Hope you guys have all been doing well wherever you guys are tuning in from. Shout out to Marco, Tonmoy, Rowan, Point 44, Tony Chelsea, Andrew, Broski, Shepo, Henrik, T1. Good to see so many of you guys tuning in. Okay, people that are coming through, make sure you participate on the poll as well. I can see 63 votes so far, and Silver leading. That's the most important contract extension for you guys at the moment, which is great to see. Okay, let's get on with the show. Now, this is the latest that's been talked about in regards to Enzo Fernandez. Premier League clubs, La Liga clubs, many of them have fallen in love with Enzo Fernandez. I mean, I don't find this one bit surprising. And it's very, very normal. He's absolutely killed it. He's absolutely killed it. But do you know what? Some people get upset when you talk only about the World Cup because they keep saying, "Oh, don't like the World Cup hype. Don't buy a player based on the World Cup." Okay, we're not going to talk about the World Cup, even though he's absolutely killed it. He was a player of the young player of the tournament. People knew what this kid was capable of doing before the World Cup anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's been ripping it apart for Benfica. Benfica has come first in their group stage in the Champions League, which has PSG in it and had Juventus as well. Benfica, honestly, is going to be one to look out for in this Champions League. Massive dark horse. Massive dark horse. They also have Gonçalo Ramos over there. Obviously, with Enzo Fernandez, this is going to be a keen thing to look out for, how they do in the Champions League. He has a 120 million euros release clause in his contract, so it's not going to be an easy one for any club. Benfica will try to keep him at least until at the end of the season. Look, I would be very, very surprised if someone tries to go after this particular player in January. 120 million release clause is a lot of money. This seems like a summer situation. Benfica, they've hit the jackpot. They really have hit the jackpot. To think that City were close to getting him and Julian Alvarez as a double combo deal, that's pretty mad. You know, City's scouts, kudos to you. But Benfica, I don't think will let him go in January. So, as I said, I would find it very, 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 very surprising if Benfica lets him go because he's a massive player for them in the Champions League. And I think Benfica is an outside shout for this Champions League. I'm not even kidding, to be honest. So he's not going to go, in my opinion. But in summer, I think Benfica is going to cash in. Benfica really will cash in. Now, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you guys. 120 million. Does Chelsea stand a chance? Like, I feel like our owners can do something like this. If they really like him, they probably could do something like this. But it all depends. Like, are we a particular club right now? I know we've got Nkunku, and that's brilliant job from our owners to get him for about what, 62 million pounds, inclusive of add-ons. That's fantastic, and we could potentially get someone like Rafael Leao as well in summer. I'm very confident. Could we possibly get someone like Enzo Fernandez? Like, I feel like so many big clubs are going to be after him, man. Like, I feel like Man City, Real Madrid, PSG, minimum these three. You'd best believe they're going to be after Enzo Fernandez. PSG, I would say, would be a huge, target. There would be a club they're going to be after Enzo. Man City apparently already wanted Enzo Fernandez. They just wanted to wait around. They got Julian Alvarez. So they're going to be a bit bummed out the fact that they didn't get him. I can see him play for Pep Guardiola. I really can. Real Madrid as well. I know they've got a lot of superstars already there. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde. They're Galacticos. They will go out there and they'll buy, one of Enzo Fernandez, Jude Bellingham. These are the hottest properties that are going around. Jude Bellingham, Enzo Fernandez, they both can't be in the same team, in my opinion. I don't think both of them will go in the same direction. If Man City is looking for someone like Jude Bellingham, then someone else will need to go for Enzo Fernandez. Now, I want to ask you guys, like, I feel like we need to do something this season. We need to play well. We need to play a good brand of football. I feel like if we don't get top four, I know we've already got Nkunku, but that's by the by. Like Nkunku's decisions can't be changed now, regardless of whether we get top four or not. But someone like Enzo Fernandez, does he come to us if we don't make top four at a bare minimum? I don't think he does. This guy is making a name of himself in Champions League. If we don't have the Champions League football for him, how exciting is it? So I feel like if we need to make our brand, our club more exciting. Right now, it's not the most exciting club. So once Premier League kicks off again, which is literally a few days away, we have to start playing some good football. We need to start picking up some wins, and we need to start creating that vibe that it is the place to be. It's the club to be. Right now, it's very, very difficult to sell, and this is probably why Todd Bowley's going for all these young players, like the 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, building up for the future, which is great. But right now we need to do something. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let's bring out some of the latest comments from you guys in regards to Enzo Fernandez. Himanshu is saying rather get Caicedo much cheaper. Look, different profiles in it. Like, I mean, Enzo Fernandez is someone, he's a deep lying playmaker. He can play as the deepest midfielder, and he's a playmaker from deep. He can score goals. Caicedo, I feel like, not really a playmaker, but he's decent on the ball. He's more, I feel like, box to box, can be disciplined and stay as the deepest midfielder and break down the play, win balls, win tackles, win duels. Different type. But I see, like maybe you're not really interested in a player like Enzo. You're more interested in a player like Caicedo. That's a fair point. If we can throw money at our attackers, we can do the same for our midfield. Maybe we'll be more lucky this time. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. I feel most big money signing flop, but him to City, then EPL becomes Farmers League. I mean, City are already like with Haaland and Alvarez. Wait till Premier League kicks on. The fact that they've got Haaland and Alvarez, like Alvarez, I already knew he was a very good player, but this World Cup has really taken his status to a different level. And once he goes back to City, he's going to be a regular with Haaland, and maybe Pep Guardiola will look at probably playing both of them in tandem. So there could be something in the cards for Pep Guardiola to try something different tactically. And then you add Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, they will be looking forward, because players like Gundogan, players like Bernardo Silva, possibly this is their last season. So they will be looking at replacement. Enzo is one player I won't mind paying that much money for. We need a player like that for long term and can do the job now. He's a proper baller, rarest of rare cases, I will say, to hit the release clause. Try. I mean, yeah. We have to build a relationship now. I feel like our owners will need to build a relationship immediately with Enzo Fernandez's agent. Can someone tell me who's Enzo's agent? Is it anyone that we know? Like, is it one of the bigger sort of agents out there? Let me know, live chat, if you know who Enzo Fernandez's agent is. Please put it down in the comments section. Enzo's creativity is what we need, Miz. You're absolutely right, man. Our midfield lacks the regular creativity. Enzo has a potential, but can we really? Enzo has a potential, but can we really bring out the best in him? I mean, look, why not, man? I mean, this guy's a talented footballer. I really like Enzo, but if you're paying that much, go for Bellingham. I guess the question is, what sort of profile do we want at Chelsea Football Club? Bellingham is more box to box. He'll be dynamic off the ball and he'll be dynamic with the ball, but I don't think Bellingham is an out-and-out creator or a deep-lying playmaker. I think he could potentially play as a number 6, but that would put a cap on his repertoire, like what he brings. I think the more he's been playing in recent times, he's more of a box-to-box player. So if that's what we want, then that's fine. Like, think about the setup. What's the setup that you would like to see Chelsea Football Club have in midfield? The way I'm thinking, honestly, I would love to see a player in the caliber of Enzo Fernandez as the deepest midfielder, who's physically quite potent as well, but at the same time, ball playing ability is excellent, can score goals and assists, and very mobile. Do you know what I mean? So that's why someone like Enzo Fernandez for me really sounds fantastic, but it might be a bit out of our hand. That's why I've been talking about someone like McAllister. And then in midfield, you have someone like him, and then I would want robust eights. I would love to have robust eights. So you could potentially have an Enzo Fernandez and a Bellingham if that's the route that we want to go to, and a Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez as the deepest midfielder, Bellingham on the left, Caicedo on the right. I mean, that would be a dream. That would be a dream. Say we get him, who do we partner him with? I think we would have to go. I would love to see a three-man midfield T1. I would love to see him as the deepest midfielder, and then you have the two eights beside him who are box to box. So, a Bellingham and a Caicedo. To be honest, like for me, that would be sensational. Do you mean S for sale? Okay, prefer Enzo to Bellingham for sure. This digital films review 352 a DM and 2 8s. Chelsea should sign Enzo Fernandez and Amrabat. Yeah, Amrabat would be amazing as well. But if I'm getting Amrabat, I'm probably putting Amrabat as the deepest midfielder, and that's a different profile. He's a more of a ball winner, but he's very decent in tight spaces with ball control as well and ability to play out from the back. But if I'm getting Amrabat, I'm having him as the deepest midfielder, and I'm having Enzo as one of the eights and moving into that 10 position as well. So players like Enzo Fernandez, they're so versatile. They can play 6, 8, 10, easy up and down, without any issues at all. What formation would you prefer Chelsea to be playing now and in the future? Honestly speaking, just play the 4-3-3, man. Play the 4-3-3. We saw in the World Cup, lots of teams been playing 4-3-3. Three-man midfield. Make sure you control the midfield. Have a strong defense with the four. Maybe have one of the fullbacks that can bomb up. Not necessarily both the fullbacks bombing up. Have one of them bomb up. Have the other one a little bit more reserved, which then can turn into a 3 in the back anyway. And then you push the other one forward. Have natural wingers. If you want to have a inside forward, no problems. But yeah, have the 3 midfielders, man. Have a deep line playmaker and 2 8s that can be workhorses. Do you know what I mean? So I would love Chelsea to play like that, but I don't know. Some of our managers are very reluctant to play that way. We also need to talk about Kovacic's contract. It expires on June 30th, 2024. If he doesn't renew, then we may have to cash in on him next summer for maximum value. Do you know what? There's talks about him possibly leaving. Like, before the World Cup, there was some articles that were floating around that maybe he's a bit fed up with all the changes that Chelsea Football Club has gone through. So yeah, one to look out for with Kovacic's situation as well. I'm not going to lie. He's been around at Chelsea Football Club for a little while now. Maybe he's down for a new challenge as well. Bobby Smoky Signals, good to see you, my man. You shouldn't worry too much about other clubs wanting players you want. It's nearly always going to happen, and Chelsea just needs to be smart, quick to get target, of course. But when you have so much traffic for a player, and Enzo Fernandez is going to have a lot of traffic, you best believe there's going to be a bidding war, man. Unless I don't even think triggering a release clause is going to do the job, because every other club will try and release that release clause. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, try and trigger that release clause. So you're going to have to go overs. You really will have to go overs. Imagine there's 3 clubs that wants to trigger the release clause. Okay, fine. You can understand what's going to happen with Benfica getting that release clause, fine. But what's Enzo Fernandez going to do? Who's going to offer the best package? Someone's going to have to offer some ridiculous contract and term, and also wage salary package. So it's something to really think about. And you best believe the agent fees are going to be massive. So it's not just about the release clause. Enzo Fernandez will probably look at who's going to pay me the most as well. So there's a lot to look into here. Enzo's agent, DE9 Football. Okay, are they a huge agency? Like, do they have a lot of good players under their belt? Let me know. How many midfielders are we linked with? Rice, Enzo, Bellingham, Caicedo. Realistically, I think we get one CDM and will be Rice. Look, Rice, I think, is a, a big shout for the summer. But I think we will probably get someone this January, and we may get someone along with Rice in the summer. Like, there's a lot of revamping that needs to happen. A lot of players need to go. I've said it many times. A lot of players need to go. Ruben Loftus-Cheek potentially next summer needs to go. Kante's situation is not looking good. Probably needs to go. Jorginho, are we going to give him a contract extension? If not, probably needs to go. Point 44 is saying, do a poll, Miz, Rice, or someone else. I've already got a poll up at the moment. We can do that poll another time, point 44 for sure. I'm sure this conversation will come up many times. I've got a poll up right now, ladies and gentlemen. Participate. We've got nearly 170 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button. Get those likes up to 100 immediately. Would love to see 100 likes in the live stream, and also participate on the poll which is going on. Which contract extension is the most important one for you? Probably should have had another option there saying none, but at the moment Silva is leading. T1, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. As much as I want these players, the most important thing is, does Potter want them, and are they going to fit what he wants to do? 100% agreed. 100% agreed. Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you know about this particular player. As I said, I've not watched Ecuador in this World Cup too much. I've just seen bits and pieces. There's been a lot of hype about this player. And every time I've watched Bayer Leverkusen because of Callum Hudson-Odoi, I've not liked Bayer Leverkusen's defense. So I'm not a massive fan of this particular player, but you let me know. Apparently this guy is a secondary option for us if we don't get Vardiol. Piero Hincapie has been scouted by many important clubs, including Chelsea, Inter, Napoli, Tottenham and Spanish clubs too, but it's about scouting and following the player. There's nothing advanced. He has a chance to move in 2023. Fabrizio Romano talking about this particular player. I mean, when I see this news, it makes me think, our Chelsea hierarchy, our owners, and also our manager, Graham Potter, are we worried that maybe Silva may not stick around, or are we sort of thinking it's not about Silva's situation? We're just trying to prepare ourselves, even if Silva does stick around, we're just trying to prepare ourselves for the future, because one day, obviously, Thiago Silva will have to leave Chelsea Football Club. He can't carry on. He's 38. He's not going to be carrying on till he's 45, 50. But if Thiago Silva is saying that he potentially wants to, stick around till he's 40, 41, apparently there's some talks going on that he wants to play on till Maldini did. Do you know what I mean? Like, does he want to play another World Cup? Like, that sounds so mad to me, man. 4 more years. Will he have the passion, the desire? Can his body keep up? Can he still maintain that fitness? Another World Cup seems to me very far-fetched. I mean, what drive will he have to continue on playing for Chelsea Football Club? Besides the fact that his family enjoys staying in London, I think his family, Bell Silva and his kids, they really do enjoy staying at London. Who knows? I think one of his kids wants to be a footballer as well. Who knows? Maybe he gets an opportunity at Chelsea youth team. But yeah, man, like, what's the go? This is why I said, which contract extension is the most important? We've been talking about Jorginho and Kante in recent times, but I feel like Thiago Silva's contract is coming to an end at the end of this season. Like, I feel like this January coming up, we would need to know what's happening with Thiago Silva. Is he staying? Is he not staying? I mean, I want to ask you guys, live chat, nearly 160 of you guys are live right now. If Thiago Silva stays, do you go and look for another defender, knowing what I've already said? Fofana, Chalobah, long-term contract signed. Koulibaly, Levi Colwill will come back to the Chelsea setup next season. Levi Colwill went to Brighton for Graham Potter wanted him, and then Graham Potter's now here. So you best believe Graham Potter will want back Levi Colwill. And Levi Colwill, let's not give up on this guy, man. Like, I honestly think Lewa Colwell is going to be a very, very good defender. So do we go for another defender if Thiago Silva sticks around for another season? Let me know in the live chat. Tim B, thank you so much for the super chat. Has anyone seen Silva's birth certificate? It's mad, man. It's mad how he's playing on till right now. Ibrahimovic is doing it at 40, so I think Silva can too. You're absolutely right. In my opinion, if we're going to bring in a defender, then it has to be Vardiol. What is the point of buying 19, 20-year-old unproven defender? We already have Lewa Colwell. Yeah, agreed. And you'd probably want to put all your money on Lewa Colwell instead. Hincapie is decent, but Josko Vardiol is way ahead and they're age mates. Yeah, from what I've already seen of Vardiol in this World Cup, I wasn't too probably impressed before the World Cup. Then again, I've not watched Leipzig that often enough. But this World Cup, it just blew my mind what Vardiol is capable of doing. For me, the standard defender. So, but Vardiol, just like Enzo Fernandez, Vardiol is going to have immense demand. Already, Man City apparently lining up something around 100 million euros or pounds or something like that to get the services of Vardiol. You best believe there's going to be other teams that are going to line themselves up. Real Madrid as well, defenders. They may be looking at revamping there. You know, when it's a big player, Real Madrid are always going to be around. They're back to their, that Galactico mode again. Do you know what I mean? But I feel Vardiol, we could have a shot. We could, because of our relationship with Leipzig, because of Christopher Vivell, coming, not potentially, he's definitely coming to Chelsea Football Club. So we could have something there. Ladies and gentlemen, 160 nearly live right now. Smash the like button. Get those likes up to 100. Only 45 more likes to get to 100 likes. So it'd be very, very appreciated if we can get there. But let's see what you guys are saying in regards to this situation of Hincapie. Let's have a look at this one first. Hincapie is 30 million euros, hence why Chelsea one team cheaper than Vardiol. Yeah, understood. But cheaper doesn't necessarily mean that's the right option to go with. I mean, yeah, McAllister is cheaper than Enzo Fernandez, but I think McAllister is a damn good player. Silva has the best positioning and reading of the game out of all the EPL defenders, so only clowns in this chat think he hinders our defense. Such flawed logic. I mean, T-Bay, man, I love your comment, but no need to call other people clowns and this, that. Just make your comment without the insults of others. Like, I don't want to sit here and give out life lessons or anything. I really don't, but I really want to promote a channel, a community where we can be respectful to each other, man. Like, no need to call each other clowns, this, that, the other. Like, people have different opinions, man. Like, let's not. Do we have to resort to insults? Like, what is this, man? Why do we have to resort to insults? G11W, Colwell needs to be brought back in January and loaned somewhere else, needs more regular play time. Fair enough, yeah. I mean, he's not getting that game time. You never know, man. I feel like in recent times, like obviously he's played in that Carabao Cup, I think, and he had a really good performance. So maybe Dizabi of Brighton, manager, could potentially start him. Who knows? Give Thiago Silva 2 years. He's the only brain in CB. Let him tutor the rest more. I wouldn't mind him staying for another 2 years. Like, it all depends on, as I said, it all comes down to motivation. It all comes down to desire, the drive. As long as he has the drive, carry on, man. I've got no issues with that. Extend Silva's contract. Let Aspie leave. Silva will help our young defenders, including Josko. That's if we get Josko, man. So yeah, Cooley and Silva, one will have to go if we get Vardiol. Exactly. If we get another defender, it makes me think someone's leaving. Someone is definitely leaving. Okay. Some other news, ladies and gentlemen. Jorginho on contract negotiations with Chelsea. It's normal to speak about it, laughing. You said that was the last question. So Chow leaves the interview. I mean, look, Jorginho, I wouldn't mind moving on from Jorginho. I really wouldn't. But at the same time, I don't mind if we keep him either, because his skill set is not something that we have in our team. Now, if we can get someone who plays and thinks like him and has that vision like him, no problems. Let's replace him. But if we can't right now, Let's keep him. But the thing is, what is the contract extension going to look like? How many years? How much wages? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is potentially Jorginho's last chance to get a big contract. Is he going to get that with Chelsea Football Club? He's a leader. We can't think of players like Aspi and Silva all leaving at one time, and also Jorginho as well. Like, if we recent, in this conversation so far that we've had, people are saying let go of Aspi. Some people are saying let go of Silva because we're going to bring in some new defenders. We can't be letting go of all of these players that have experience in our football club. Like, I'm telling you, it'll be detrimental. Players like Silva, Aspi, Jorginho, some have to stay just to give that character, that that presence in the dressing room, because you don't want newbies coming in and there's no presence, there's no character, and everyone's sort of like a bit lost looking at each other. It can be detrimental, man. It can be detrimental. So there's a bit about that. And then we've got, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Inter director Ausilio Robin Gosens is not for sale. He will not leave in January. We invested on him and he will be part of the project, tells Sky. Romelu Lukaku is 100% focused on Inter now. World Cup is past. He feels good. He's ready. Do you know what? It's going to be interesting to see how Romelu Lukaku comes back, man. I'm keen to see what he does for Inter Milan. If he has a flop of a season, I'd be very surprised how Inter actually keeps him. And it'll be interesting to see whether he comes back. I don't think he wants to come back, but we'll see. We'll see. Colwell is good, but he's the same age as Vardiol, and his light is behind him. I completely get it. I completely understand. We are trying our level best to get Vardiol, Timby. We really are. Our owners have been after him last season as well, last summer. They apparently put in a 90 million euros bid. That's mad. But now that 90 million euros probably looks like a bit of a bargain. Now it's somewhere around 100 plus million euros now for a player like Vardiol, and there's more clubs that are after him. So yes, he is behind Colwell, but we have to be realistic. Can we get a player like Vardiol? Do you know what I mean? I think we have a shot, but don't be surprised if there are other clubs that are going to go after him. Jorginho birthday today. Happy birthday to Jorginho. If J5 stays, then he must be a squad player at best and not a starter. Even as a squad player, man, I think that's a good option to have. Good player to learn from. I mean, honestly, some of our players, they look at Jorginho very highly. Reece James, even Mason Mount, like they've said, one of the most technically gifted players is Jorginho, along with Kovacic. Keep Georgie and Silva. Aspi must go, and I don't think he's a good captain. I mean, maybe not now. Once upon a time, he was. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, point 44. Like, maybe you're looking for a different characteristic as a captain. Sometimes Aspi can be a little bit one-dimensional. Like when we lose, Aspi comes out in social media, just says that simple line, "We'll go again next week." Like, I'm like, whatever. But there has been times where I've been impressed by his captaincy as well. But I hear what you're saying. You're looking for a different characteristic of a captain. We need to move on from Georgie and Kante. Look at Tielemans, Rice, and McAllister. Apparently, we're not linked with Tielemans. More Arsenal linked with him. Rice and McAllister, definitely. Rice he wants Chelsea Football Club. So you best believe it's just a matter of both the clubs coming together, agents coming together, and making this happen. McAllister is someone I would love to see at Chelsea Football Club. The more I think about it, he's probably the one that I'll take from Brighton. I don't really care too much about Trossard. I know a lot of you guys would want Caicedo, and I've wanted Caicedo as well. But the more I think about it, is McAllister is the one that's going to really, really evolve us in that midfield. His ability to be creative in that midfield, score goals, assist, and also playing as a deepest midfielder. Bringing someone like McAllister, you could potentially play him as a deep-lying playmaker, much like what Jorginho does, and he's got all of those flaws covered that Jorginho seems to have. So that's when I could think about moving someone like Jorginho on. And Graham Potter used McAllister in that manner as well. Graham Potter used McAllister as the deep-lying playmaker in Brighton. Jorginho needs to go. We need a good revamp in midfield with creative and talented players. We need players who knows the Chelsea way to teach the academy players and other players who come from transfer. These senior players teach them the Chelsea mentality. 100% agreed. Aspie is always the first guy to drop his head when he concede. What are our chances against City on 5th Jan? I mean, we spent like crazy. Can this result into something good? Look, we're going to end it soon, and I'm going to end it on this. Once the Premier League kicks off again, which is literally in about a week's time, we need to shift our mentality. Our players need to start playing better. We need to create a momentum. We cannot drop any more points. We need to go into that match against City on 5th Jan with a hope that we've got a chance of beating them. Right now, it's like going into these sort of fixtures, and it's an expected loss, XL, like what we've been talking about before the World Cup. Any big team, we move in and then we wanna face them. We've already considered a loss, and it's a shame, man. Recent times, we've moved in to play against Arsenal. Everyone was expecting us to lose. We moved into play against Brighton. A majority of us, our fan base, was expecting us to lose, and we got hammered. We moved into play against City. Maximum people expected us to lose, and we lost. It's embarrassing for Chelsea Football Club to have that level of a mindset, looking at the fixture and thinking it's an expected loss. That needs to change, and it needs to change immediately. And I get it. Graham Potter is new, and I'm with Graham Potter. I'm patient with Graham Potter. But that Bournemouth game, I want to believe we're going to win. I want to be able to do that preview and say we are going to win. I don't want to go into that preview and go, Muse, you do not have any divine right to think you're going to win. Like, it's evens. Like, it can't be evens, man. It can't be evens. Sorry, but I don't understand the hype for this player, Rice. Look, all I'm going to say, he's a good player. He's a very good player, in fact. I just picture us playing in a different way, which makes me think he won't be able to accommodate for. But the more and more I see him in recent times, maybe he can. He's young. Maybe he can develop. I just get annoyed because of all the hype around him, especially from English fans. Like, and I get it, he's English. That's fine. But it's like they've not seen other defensive midfielders. And the other factor that really annoys me about Declan Rice is that our fan base seems to cheer him on a lot more than our own players. And that, for me, is so annoying. And this is, as I've said, with Rice is more as a non-footballing thing as opposed to a footballing thing. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. It's close. I can't see how we score. No heart, nothing. No, 100%, 100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will let you guys go. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. We only need another 28 more likes to get 100 likes for the stream. So smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. We want to try and push for 20,000 subscribers. Let's get there. It's going to be a bumper start of the Premier League. I might actually even do a watch along for Man United versus Burnley in the Carabao Cup, because I'm very keen to see Ian Martin. Ian Martin is doing the bits at Burnley, and Burnley are playing some really, really lovely football. So do look out for that. I may do that or may do a review after that. So Premier League's going to kick off. We've got a whole heap of transfer news that's going to kick off. It's going to be mad. It's going to be mad. So make sure, smash the like button, subscribe if you're here for the first time, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya. I shall see you guys for another video later on UK time tonight. So catch you then. Bye.